I will kick us off. The NFC North. My bold prediction, and this is maybe my least bold of all of my predictions.
Justin Fields goes 0-14.
God, I hope not. The Green Bay Packers will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. And I know that's not too far-fetched. They've been to the NFC Championship game 2 straight years, won 13 games each of those years. I just think, despite all of the craziness of this offseason, the division's pretty weak. So they are in a pretty good position to just rack up wins and secure potentially the top seed in the NFC. But pissed off Rodgers, last dance bullshit, all of that stuff. And when you really look at it, I mean, they're very, very minimal roster holes there. Like the path to the Packers not being successful is a lot of really random stuff for the most part. And I know the Bucs returned all 22 starters, and Tom
Which
Brady,
is shitty because NFL.com didn't return the all 22 film to Game Pass. So the Bucs can do it, but NFL.com can't. Come on, let's get that back so that we can actually study some film.
Yeah, the film heads. Oof, that's a tough look for people out there. But so maybe my not so bold prediction here, but the Packers will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. What do you think, Toaster?
I think it's bold because it directly contradicts one of my to be determined bold predictions.
Okay.
But I can't blame you in any way. The roster turnover really hasn't hurt them at all. If anything, they've probably gotten a little stronger. And to your point, they've been in the NFC Championship game for 2 straight years, and they've been on the precipice of winning quite a bit. So I wouldn't call it the boldest of bold. Stay tuned for bolder predictions, but I do think that it's outside the mainstream because I think the Bucs are by far and away considered to have the number 1 overall seed. Are you saying the Packers have the first overall seed, get a bye week 1?
I'm not fully there. They'll definitely be in the conversation for it. But I think regardless, they will have enough piss and vinegar from Aaron Rodgers that they'll push their way through.
So potentially I'd say a bold prediction is a road win for the Packers in the NFC Championship. I can get behind that one for you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What do you got?
So my NFC North bold prediction, it's bold only because being very specific with the numbers, but the Detroit Lions start out 0-13.
Oh, okay. I hadn't considered that thought yet, but now let's
so if we run through the
reasoning.
If we run through the Lions schedule, I only see one winnable game, and that's week 6 against the Bengals. Outside of that, they've got 49ers, Packers, Ravens, Bears for the first 4 weeks, followed by the Vikings. We talked about the Bengals. Then it goes into Rams, maybe the Eagles in week 8, but then a bye in week 9. Steelers, Browns,
week 9.
Steelers, Browns, Bears again. So there's really only 3 winnable games in there, and I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to the Bengals that they can take on the Lions, and that the Eagles will have just enough. Maybe there's a surprise in one of my bold predictions there as well. But I just, looking at their schedule, it's so daunting off the top, and they haven't done anything to improve their roster from last year. So other than, I guess, if you count getting first round draft picks, that's the only thing that they've done to improve their roster in this year and going into next year.
Yeah, thankfully for them, the Houston Texans exist, so they don't have the worst roster in football, but they are pretty damn close. I mean, from a skill position standpoint, they have nobody. I don't think anyone has confidence that Jared Goff is going to all of a sudden regain his magic now that he's away from Sean McVay. Their offensive line looks like it could be a strength. especially if Sewell can get his shit figured
If
out.
Sewell figures out how to block and doesn't just rely on his size when he did in college, because his short arms are definitely holding him up right now. So he's going to have to work on his fundamentals, and that's their right tackle at this
He's
point.
the right tackle right now.
Forgot that they switched positions on him. You take some guy 7th overall and then say, okay, now play a different position that's less valuable than the position you excelled at.
Yeah. Hey, I know you haven't played in over a year, but we're also going to make you play something else that you haven't played in, God knows when.
Yep.
So yeah, they're a dumpster fire. Okay, I can see that. So you think their first potential win is
against the Cliff Kingsbury-less Arizona Cardinals?
Okay, in week
they
15.
did beat the Cardinals last year, so going a little bit historical on that one. I don't want to project them for a full 0-17 season, even though that seems like something Detroit would fall for.
They're comfortable. They're comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. They're used to this. But I'll give them a victory, and I'll give it to them in the Cardinals in week 14.
Okay, I look forward to seeing that.